Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the FlappCast, Behind the Funny, where we find out what goes on behind the scenes at a comedy club. I'm Barb Holliday.
I'm Joshua Snyder.
And this is a very squeaky chair, I just realized. So check out our new digs. We're in our comedy shop classroom.
Yes, the Waldorf.
Yes, we have two classrooms up here, the Statler and Waldorf.
Get it?
Or Waldorf and Statler, whichever one you... It's Statler and Waldorf, right?
We're in the Waldorf.
Okay. We're in the bigger, more opinionated one.
Right.
Whatever
it
that
is the
means.
Waldorf.
Yes.
Crystal, is it the Waldorf?
And they can't see Crystal, so we wouldn't want to refer to other people in the room that aren't here, Joshua.
Crystal, they can't see you. I'm sorry.
Unless we want to talk about our invisible friends. So this week we were going to have our headliner, Jen Kober. She's not with us today, so we're going to make fun of her.
Right.
Since she's not here.
Right. She's a stupid pants.
No, we love her. She's our headliner in Burbank this week.
Yes, she'll be headlining Friday and Saturday, 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. in Burbank.
Jen Kober, one of the funniest women I know. If you haven't listened to her comedy, go to jenkober.com. Come live and check her out. But she, how do I describe this? Jen, this is what you get since you're not here. Slightly overweight.
Hard to kidnap, isn't that her?
Lesbian comedian, yes. She has a great joke. I'll even quote it for her. It's she says, I don't like to be called overweight. I prefer to be called hard to kidnap.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, think about it. You know, you'd have to lure people. You'd have to first get some Wendy's, and then you'd have to use the Wendy's to lure me into the van. You know, stuff like that.
I don't want to comment because I don't want to be accused of a hate crime or something. But you can.
No, Jen's amazing. Seriously, I've known her. She does a ton of colleges, super high energy, and just one of those people you just love to cuddle and love. Oh, and usually we turn off all cell phones and pagers. Maybe we should just answer this call and see who it
Crystal?
is.
Don't call.
Hello, Barbara Holliday, live on the FlappCast. Who's calling? Oh, it's no one. I was expecting your call, no one. It seriously was no one. It was just a beep. I've
weird.
actually gotten about 20 of those calls today.
I think my favorite was recently that your phone started autocorrecting the curse words.
Oh, has anyone had this happen? You are not going to believe. This is absolutely true. I was texting the word no. So I was just texting one of our managers, no, thank you. And every time I would type the word no, it changed it to F you. It's serious. And I couldn't figure out why. And I was showing everyone, and it just would not stop doing it.
But there's a part of you that wanted to leave it alone, right?
Well, I started texting people I didn't like that much. And
there we go.
It worked out well. But did you know your phone could even do that?
I did not know that. And it was. We think it was a hack?
I think so, because
Or was it Dave?
I did not. Maybe you did it.
Wasn't me.
Somebody went into you can do that. You can do replacement words, it's called, on your cell phone. So maybe something a little more polite, you know?
Right, like frack you, which is from Battlestar
I don't
Galactica.
know. It was weird. But I did get it corrected. So if you do receive a text from me that says F you, just keep in mind I did not mean it. Or
well,
did I?
It depends. That's a tough one. 6 of one, half a dozen. No, that's not true. 6 of one, half a dozen the other. That does not apply. That was the wrong idiom or metaphor.
Yes.
That was incorrect.
So Josh, are you excited about our new digs? We're moving our FlappCast. We were taping it live from the Flappers Burbank main room, but we decided to start showing off our classrooms, and we're gonna keep it permanently in here.
You know, I gotta say, I don't think I get excited anymore about anything. I think it's more of an emotional issue.
Oh, gosh, must we get personal here?
I don't know.
Josh needs to get laid. Please call in if you're single and available and like nerds.
You could be married. I mean, I'm not. Whatever.
It really does
Bonnie?
not matter. If you are on any type of social media, Josh will do you. That's basically the only prerequisite.
Now, wait a
right?
minute. I would
He
do
needs
people
it
who were
back.
not on social media. That's not. I mean, there are people.
I thought it didn't matter to you. I thought do we have to discuss this every podcast?
We don't discuss my sexuality
Yes,
every
we do.
podcast.
Every
Do we?
podcast.
I guess we do.
That he was a virgin till he was 32.
Correct.
But
And
wasn't that a movie also? Or that was a 30-year-old virgin? You
That
had
was-
2 years on him.
I actually have a bit about this. There's a development guy who told me that there's nothing I can do with my story because they already made the 40-year-old virgin.
Oh, it was the 40-year-old virgin. I
Yeah.
thought it was the 30-year-old virgin.
No,
40.
no, it was the 40-year-old.
Well,
yeah.
there's still room to do like, the 20-year-old, the 30-year-old. You could just do all the
could be a
70-year-old.
prequel.
Maybe there's an 80-year-old virgin. Who knows?
I'm sure there is.
Do you think there is? That's quite weird, isn't it? That's
to
a
live to be
long,
80
long
and never
time.
have sex? That's
I'm
tough.
sure it's true. Don't you think?
I also did a calculation.
I'm gonna find him.
I think there
Her.
might be more adult virgins in Colorado than Jews.
Really?
Yes.
Adult virgins in Colorado than Jews.
Only 100,000 Jews in Colorado.
What about adult virgin Jews?
100,000
Okay.
adult virgin Jews in Colorado.
Okay.
It's the same number.
I see.
No, that's not fair. That's not fair to the Jewish people I know who
Okay.
are,
Well, I am on a mission to get this handled by next week so we can stop talking about your virginity. Okay? Are we good?
Well, then I'll start talking about all the tests I need to take and all of that.
Right. Well, at least you don't have to worry about any criticism about being gay or lesbian or anything like that. Imagine what our headliner Jen Cobra has to deal with.
Smooth transition.
Right?
That was great.
Did you like it? Did it seem obvious? No. Well, so listen.
Crystal, did that seem obvious to you?
We
Be
have
honest.
here he goes talking to the invisible person in the room again. Hey, we should cut right away to our amazing performers who came out today and hear what they've got to do with. They've brought some comedy to share with us today.
Yes, we should.
And that we
cut.
can just do punch it up and incorporate interviews and talk to these young comics.
Well, but I do think we should. You did bring up the gay lesbian. We should talk about that though.
Gay
a little
lesbian
bit.
comedy?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
And
it's awesome. I love it.
good talk.
What What about gay, lesbian, now transgender comedy?
Yeah.
If
yeah.
I've said this before, but if you are transgender and you do not have representation, call me immediately. I can do something with you. No, seriously, transgender comedy right now, especially amongst college students, super, super popular. Like I get calls all the time. They're asking me for transgender comics.
What about asexual? I could possibly pass for that. What about, no gender whatsoever? Maybe he's a man, maybe he's a woman. It's like I'm Pat.
Actually, the term is gender fluidity. Have you heard this? This is the new young person's term. They say they're gender fluid. They don't say I'm gay or bi or anything like that. If you ask them, they say I'm gender fluid. That's
Gotcha.
the term. I just learned that this year.
So does that mean then that
hanging
if
with college students.
they're with whoever they would like to be? It's like
whatever.
pansexual.
It's kind of like the 60s when you took acid. Whatever,
I see.
same gender fluid. But it is a legitimate term. Google it.
The thing that the thing that I get, here's what I'm jealous of. I'm jealous as basically a white male comedian, of being a white male comedian in times when no one cares.
But what does that have to do with gender fluidity?
Well, what I'm saying, like right now, because you're saying you're looking for transgender comedians, and
Yes.
we're looking for that voice in comedy, like
Yes.
there's an opportunity there. And
Yes.
to be honest, there's a part of me that's like, if only I were.
Well, I think you have to find out what your real voice is first, Josh. Is it asexual? Is it bisexual? Is it asexual? Is it...
I think it's
Gender
reluctant
fluid.
heterosexual.
That's
I think that's
it.
that's what it is.
Sounds... How do we call that? Is RH? It's RH.
RH,
Reluctant
yeah.
heterosexual.
or
okay.
mild heterosexual.
Mild reluctant heterosexual.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's what it is.
We're
pretty
coining
much.
new terms here on the FlappCast.
Right.
Perfect.
I'll be with a woman, but she's got to do all the heavy lifting. That's
All
how it's
right.
got to be.
Why don't we find out what our comics have to say about this topic? It is a very interesting one. In fact, I think one of our comedians might actually have some gay lesbian humor interact. No?
Let's find out, ladies and gentlemen,
What
with
is-
Bonnie Rieger.
Bonnie Rieger is here. Way to throw her into the fire, Josh. Welcome, Bonnie.
Hi. So, in case you can't tell, I had my first kiss on my wedding day. Wow. At 27 years old. Yeah, and I could have done it earlier, and people always ask, why did you wait? Like, are you religious? Homeschooled? Insane? Well, yes, all of the above. But mostly it was so my husband could marry an Amish Julie Andrews. I'm just kidding. He wanted Catholic. But But our engagement was really weird because people were super concerned about our wedding night. They were like, you gotta try before you buy. Kick the tires a little bit. Take him for a test drive. Oh, a test drive. That's how I always dreamed of losing my virginity. Yeah. But I don't know why everyone was so worried, because we must have done something right. I mean, we made a kid. And all we had to do was Google it. And, the diagrams were a little confusing at first, but Wikipedia was super helpful. So, yeah, now we have this 2-year-old. And it's scary because, as great as I turned out to be, I want my kid to be vaguely normal. Like try sports, have heroes, taste alcohol before he's 30, the basics. Yeah, for sports, we got a little basketball hoop for him. And he put the ball in, fell right through, and he glared at me. I was like, dude, I think it's supposed to be fun, and you get to do it over and over again. And he cussed me out with his eyes. I was like, you know what? The kid's right. Sports are so stupid. I mean, they make you do the same stupid thing on repeat. And if that's not enough, they have instant replays. Oh, goody. Yeah, I don't think Michael Jordan will be my son's hero. But there is one Mike who is his greatest hero of all time. Mike the Garbage Man. Oh, we live for Thursdays for the arrival of Mike. I mean, groceries and doctor's appointment, those can just wait, because Mike needs a high five and some cookies. And, my husband's a little jealous, but what does he expect? I mean, Mike drives a trash truck. My husband drives a Sentra. But you don't have to worry. Mike may have a cooler car, but my husband still gets all my test drives. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Bonnie, so
come
you're
on over and hang with us.
Yes,
Bonnie.
right here. Bonnie Rieger.
Bonnie
Very
Rieger.
nice.
You don't look old enough to have kids.
Oh, thank you.
Stop. I'm not
Correct.
gonna.
You do not look old enough to have children.
She does look like Julie Andrews. You hear that a lot?
I've gotten that a few times, yeah.
Yeah. How did you get into comedy?
I had a very traumatic birth with my son, and it was actually
Okay.
kind of a healing thing for me to get into this and be able to make people laugh about it in the midst of all the stuff that was really tough, because there were a lot of funny things with his birth, too.
Oh,
So,
what may I ask? What happened?
he was born 8 weeks early. He was 3 pounds, 12 ounces. I had
pounds?
severe preeclampsia, so in Downton Abbey land, we would both be dead, but we're here, so that's good. And but the funniest moment was when they told me I had severe preeclampsia, and they were checking me into the hospital 2 months early, and she was like, do you have anyone you can call to come be with you? And I said, well, yeah, my husband, but he's at work. I don't want to bug him. My husband writes cartoons for a living, so I don't know what I was worried about. But it was just total denial in my head.
Wow.
And so it was literally after the birth. You're like, I need to do something.
It
Why?
was-
I mean,
well, and I'm now a stay-at-home mom, so this is kind of an outlet for me to complain
the
about being a
getaway.
stay-at-home mom.
The getaway.
And
Yeah.
my husband can babysit at night, so it's a good schedule for us.
And how old?
He just
is
turned
your
2
young-
in April.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, you really need to be out of the house right
Yes, I
now.
do.
The terrible twos.
Yeah.
Do you
he's
do
a great kid.
Do you do material on that too?
Oh, yeah. I have a lot of material. It's mostly about him. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, don't forget the husband. I'm
well,
sure.
Yeah, I'm
That's
still
good
working on that, because my husband and I, I have such a wonderful husband. He's amazing.
Sure
And
you do.
I do. Well, and we have kind of an unspoken rule where we don't complain about each other, whether we're in the room or not. And so I'm
Right.
trying to find that line within stand-up comedy of how to find humor, but also not belittle my husband too much.
Right.
Even though it's all
Well,
in
I
good
think
fun.
it's a super form of flattery if you talk about your significant other in comedy.
All right.
And listen, everybody has relationship issues. I mean, you're like literally not part of this planet if you
Right.
don't if you get along 100% of the time. It just because you're talking about things that happen doesn't mean you don't love the person.
I do get along 100% of the time with my fantasies, but I don't think that counts.
Right. But
Actually, that's not even true. I have trouble with them. Yeah. Nope, she's right.
well,
Proceed with the interview.
I'm just saying your husband will come sometime and you'll be amazed. It's actually quite invigorating. And eye-opening for the relationship. So you have a fan in the house. Somebody actually came to the podcast today just to hear you.
Yes.
Nick Wethrick is in the room.
Yep.
Another
you can mention them when they're off camera.
well, at least I announced that he was not on the camera.
Did you hear that, Crystal? Did you see what
be
just
done.
happened? Hypocrisy.
No, but I mean, we actually had someone come down to sit and listen to the podcast just to hear Bonnie today.
We're writing buddies.
I see. Writing buddies.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's Paul Moonjean and Nick and I try and get together and just work on material.
And
together.
complain together.
Basically, yeah.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah.
That's what we like.
Exactly.
So your husband, what cartoons does he write for?
Well, he works on Thunderbirds Are Go.
Oh, no way.
Yes, he does.
Ooh.
So I highly recommend watching it on Amazon Prime.
Wait, is that the puppets?
I have no idea what that is.
It was the puppets
Zero
in the
idea.
1960s, and now it's a remake, and it's with CG animation and models.
I see, and he writes the stories.
Yes.
Oh, okay, got it. It's about I think a family who fight crime.
Well, it's International Rescue and it's a family of 5 boys, and their dad is currently missing in this version, and they go on rescues all over the world.
So when he writes his stories, does he ask you to look at them or read them or anything?
I usually get to see him later, and that's fine.
I see. And vice versa, when you write your comedy, do you run it by him?
Yes, we've discovered that because he's a writer, I can't read it to him in hopes that he'll laugh at the right moments because he's thinking of the structure so much that he doesn't laugh, even if it's funny. So I have to just run structure by him and then bring him to a show where he's hidden in the audience and I can't tell if he's laughing or not.
And then later you're like, you laughed, right?
Yeah.
Right? You better have laughed or you're not getting laid tonight, right? Let's be honest. It's a requirement. So what are your plans for comedy? I know you said you kind of got into it because of the birth, but like do you have plans to pursue this professionally or?
I'm not sure. Honestly, I think hosting might be interesting because I could stay in town and it wouldn't be that big of a requirement because I do want to still be in town and hang out with my guys most of the time, but I really enjoy this for now and yeah.
Now, you were joking earlier before we started recording about gay and lesbian material.
Well, I just thought it was going to be funny that you were talking about that, and then here I am with my first kiss on my wedding day.
I see that you have so much of it, yeah. But come on, have you ever experimented? Let's get down and dirty. What? What's wrong with that question?
No, I haven't.
See, okay. So let's see. Josh is available.
I've been accused when my hair's even shorter.
Yes. You have that lesbian look.
I've been
that
cast
is true.
as a lesbian several times as a background actor.
Perfect.
A background lesbian.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's an oxymoron, really.
Pretty much.
No?
Just
Kind of is an oxymoron.
I just envisioned Martin Scorsese. We need more background lesbians.
Get them in
shot.
here. Get them in here.
Composition's off.
Yeah.
So
I know. We could use one right there, third from the left.
That, by the
just
way,
in
that
back.
could be a tag. By the way, when we tag the podcast, background lesbian. Be sure to tag that.
How do you
Bring
feel?
out the background lesbians. All right.
How do you feel about that kind of comedy? Does it offend you or bother you, or do you think it's like a niche? Or just curious what your thoughts are on it.
I mean, if that's where you're coming from, then that's your truth, and we all have to speak from a place of truth on what's going on in our lives. So, I think
advanced 2-year comedian.
yeah,
Good training.
I mean, I think that's why I come at it from the stories that I have. I mean, that's what I know, and that's my truth. And I feel like I have a kind of unique voice within the comedy world because I'm sort of squeaky clean. And that's not how everyone is necessarily all the time. But for me, that just is
Do you
my
actually
style.
think about it like that? Like, do you try to write clean, or you don't even really talk
I don't talk that
dirty?
way. I mean,
except to your husband?
I say darn and zoinks. And
Oh, stop it. Stop it. Zoinks. Of
Well,
all
I
the
married
words.
an animation writer. Come
You have
on.
to- oh yeah, zap pow zoinks. Oh, that's funny. Can you imagine they're in the bedroom together and like, wow, honey, zap, pow, zoink.
Oh, goodness, dear. Goodness. That was delightful.
That is funny.
More.
That's so funny.
Please.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Actually, that's a fun segment. And he
This
practices
is quite
out.
enjoyable.
See the
Madam?
see the bubble over my head that says it is. Anyway, that's
we're gonna get
interesting.
sued.
Some ideas for you.
All right.
All right. Do you have any questions for her or suggestions?
My only thought is, have you done the Uber exercise?
I don't know what you mean.
What that is that you call an Uber, you get in.
I don't
and-
have a smartphone, but go on. I'd find someone's smartphone who has the Uber app.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. Maybe one of the Thunderbirds can.
Can't you
Right.
call Uber on the phone? I mean, like without an app?
I've never used Uber. I don't. That's a
Don't
good
they have a
question.
number?
no.
They don't have a phone
like
number you can actually
Well,
The
we'll
only
give-
person left in the world that
Oh my
doesn't have an
Maybe
gosh.
maybe you go with your riding
Okay.
partner.
Okay.
go to the grocery store and do it.
Oh,
You can do it
go
in
to,
a-
yeah, you go anywhere.
Take a cab.
You go up to a complete stranger. You initiate a conversation, and the goal is to work your jokes into the conversation without them catching on that you're doing jokes.
Okay.
And what that does is it helps you find the conversationality. I don't think that's a word. Is that a word?
Yes, it is.
Conversationality.
It
Now it
counts.
Uh, find the conversational nature of what we're looking for with stand-up. So that way it's because your joke structure is great, but you are coming off a bit kind of regulated and structured.
That's because I come from a
Perfect.
theater background, and
Yes.
that's the one thing I'm really trying to work on now. Which is
Right.
hard, without being boring.
Well, believe it or not, the note for you is that you're never boring.
Thank you.
You actually can tone yourself down.
Okay.
I had the same note. I was Miss Musical Theater.
Okay.
Everything I did was super big jazz hands. You know, hey, I want to live in America.
Yeah.
And so when you actually have to coach yourself to calm down and stand up and just talk normal,
Yeah.
but which feels boring to musical theater people, right? I know. It's like, come on, I got a song and dance number. But seriously, that is a good note. That's an exercise I like to do for myself because it calms me down.
Yeah.
It's like trying to get that joke out without, an actual joke in structure, but in conversation, in a
Right.
sentence. It's tricky.
Cool.
But you've only been doing comedy 2 years.
1 year.
1 year. Jeez, Louise. I
That's-
mean,
that's
first
what
she
the kind
had
of thing
she
they
had the
say,
baby, and then she like complained for a year, and her husband was like, "Get out of the house and do something else." And then here she is.
Ta-da.
And you've been taking classes with us at Flappers University, right?
Yeah, I've taken 3 classes so far.
We're learning this
Great.
joke.
Yes, it is a joke. Well, so far some good training, I think.
Thank you.
Where can our listeners find you? On the web or on social media? Or when are you
I
at Flappers
technically
next?
own a Twitter account. I've tweeted twice.
Let's
so
help you.
I should probably work on that.
What
I
is your
hate
Twitter?
hashtags with a passion.
Good, there's another
Let me
topic.
see if I
Hashtag
can.
hate.
I think it's Bonnie J. Rieger. I'm pretty sure that's my Twitter.
Well,
I don't even
if you're
remember.
listening, go to it right now. Let's go
Gee,
to
I'm
it.
Chrysler. Let's
Josh,
take a look.
let's go to it right now and
I'm
let's
re-
follow
that's-
her.
Theatricality and social media, those are my weaknesses when it comes to comedy.
Well, we are FlappCast.
Yes.
I almost
And-
thought you were going to say theatricality and deception. I was
Oh.
quoting from Batman for a second.
My handle is Laugh Manager, so you
Okay.
can follow me
Okay.
and watch all the mistakes I make,
Great.
and then maybe learn from that because I
Bonnie.
do every day.
Okay.
Bonnie
And Josh is
Jay.
Nerdy Virgin
J.
Oh.
at Nerdy
Perfect.
Virgin. So
There was so much judgment in the way
we're
she
gonna
just said that.
retweet the podcast later, so you will at least have one retweet.
Oh my gosh.
So that'll be your third tweet,
Oh, great.
right?
Is
So-
it R-I-E or
R-I-E.
R-I-E?
Okay, great. We found you.
No, we haven't.
So, and Bonnie, when are you going to be at Flappers again next? Do you have a showcase, a student
Yes.
showcase?
I'm not in a class right now, but July 30th, I will be here at 7:30 in the Yoo-Hoo room.
Okay,
And yeah.
perfect. get your tickets now. Go on Flappers Comedy and come down and see Bonnie. As
Yeah.
she promises me she's gonna complain about her husband next, right?
I'm going to work on it. It's hard for me.
Thanks
All
so
right.
much for joining us
Yes,
today.
Bonnie Rieger, ladies and gentlemen. So you're going to put the mic back
Yes.
up on the stand.
And she actually has to leave because she has to go pick up her son, right?
Yes, I do.
So don't slam the door on the way out. I mean, like, do slam the door. You know, 'cause that we're gonna hear a door close, but that would open another door would open.
Yes, when God closes one door, he
Bye,
he also
Bonnie. Thanks for joining us. So, but
And they didn't close the
and
door.
they didn't slam
There we
slam the door. Now, come on,
No,
give
when-
us a sound effect.
It's like when
Come on. Oh, that was so quiet. I'm
Right,
disappointed.
when God closes a door, he'll close another one too, because that's God. You know,
Right.
That's
Okay, we have a laugher in the room.
yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Unfortunately, I can't say who it is.
And nor can our listeners hear them. I don't know. Can our listeners hear the laughter in the room? Okay.
Yes,
I'm getting
we're
a signal.
picking up the ambiance.
So we have another guest with us.
Yes.
Who is our second guest?
Our
today.
second comedian. Please welcome to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, Tam Pham.
Can't you give them like a little intro? Something?
A little intro, ladies and gentlemen, Tam Pham.
My chair is so squeaky.
Little intro for a little comic. It's fine. I'm not going to tell that I'm really nervous right now, even though probably shouldn't be because I'm really socially retarded. So this interview is going to be the most awkward thing you've ever been through. It's why I tell people that I'm the kind of guy who would never join ISIS because 72 virgins is not an incentive. What I mean by that is, like, imagine what would happen if I was alone in a room with 72 virgins. There would be 73 virgins. I wish I could be as comfortable as Josh is in not getting laid because I think it sucks. Yeah. Like, I'm starting to think that nobody is ever going to thank me for all the pineapple juice I drink.
Ah.
Make me wish my sock. Don't want to miss this gold. I've always been really self-conscious, especially about my ears. Like, kids always used to make fun of my ears. Some of them were kind of nice about it. One kid once told me that big ears had character, and then he said it was a Disney character that's a flying elephant. They gave me lots of nicknames as a kid based on things they said I resembled. Dumbo, like I mentioned, because of the ears. Bruce Lee, because he was Asian. Free Willy, because the whale was naked and you still couldn't see his dick. Oh. Speaking of whales, I like Japanese food, but I can't afford good Japanese food. There was this one Japanese restaurant I used to eat at all the time until I started paying attention, and I noticed that the health department gave it a B. Which is disgusting because I've never seen Asians get a B in anything. I don't count Filipinos, by the way. I've always been very easy to make fun of, but never more so than when I was 9. Because that was the year when my mom decided it would be a great idea to give me a surprise perm. Now, everybody I went to school with was Latino, so before the perm, they were making fun of me all the time for being Asian and having big ears. Imagine being Asian and having a Jew fro. They called me the Diary of Japan. All right, that's all I have. Thanks.
All
All
right,
right.
Tam, come on over.
Have a seat.
That was fun.
Yes.
I enjoyed Tam.
Tam, how long have you been doing comedy?
2 years.
2 years.
Oh, so you
Yes.
got a year on Bonnie.
Yes.
So what are you Japanese?
I'm Vietnamese.
Vietnamese. Did I miss that?
I didn't
Did
bring
you
it
say
up.
that?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'm sorry if I missed that. So it's interesting in the Asian community. There are,
There are rivalries, yeah.
yes. And isn't Korean like What's the ranking? Korean, Japanese? I mean, like, or does everyone just hate everyone else?
Everybody thinks they're the best.
Right.
I would definitely say Filipinos are the nicest, so I find it the easiest to make fun of them.
I
'cause
have a
they're
great
not
friend
gonna
who's
say anything.
Filipino. I agree. Yeah.
But other than that, everybody just thinks everybody else is the best, or everybody thinks that they are the best.
Right. But you were born here in the States? Yeah.
Yes. I'm from Los Angeles.
Right. So you're how do you say that?
An American, that's what he is.
Vietnamese American. Like African American, you say Vietnamese American. You always put the other thing before the American.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
So we're all something American, right?
Right.
Okay.
Correct.
I got
I'm
it.
a neurotic American.
Right. Yes. Obsessive, compulsive.
Yes. Obsessive.
I'm
compulsive.
OCD American.
Yes. OCD
Type
American.
A, perfectionist American, something like that.
Precisely.
I'm going to start using that. That's funny.
Yeah, you should.
Okay. Thanks, Josh.
You're welcome.
So,
You should
Tam,
thank me.
are you in our classes here too?
No, I'm not.
Oh, where'd you study? How have you gotten into comedy?
I just write down things I think are funny. I listen to a lot of radio, a lot of podcasts. I watch
What's your
a ton of-
favorite podcast?
Besides FlappCast?
There we go.
So easy. Do you listen to our podcast?
No.
Okay, at least he's honest. So, but there is one Chinese guy that listens. So
12.
I'm just letting you know.
12.
It's a
Wh-
huge
what's your-
market, so there's plenty
Yeah,
of
what's
room
your
to grow.
favorite podcast? What podcast do you listen to, and why?
I guess I'd say Doug Loves Movies.
Oh yeah, Doug's been here to Flappers several times.
Did a
Very
live
funny.
taping of his podcast here.
several times.
Yes.
Yeah, he's really funny. I really enjoy movies, and so movies plus comedy, so that's something I like a lot.
Right.
Excellent. Excellent. That's fascinating. Are you really a virgin?
No, not in the technical sense.
Not in the Japanese sense, and not in the Vietnamese.
Not in the technical sense.
What does that mean?
Yes, please.
Elaborate.
Like, I've never been on a date before,
Uh-huh.
but like I have
But
had
he's had
sex.
sex.
Had sex before.
Well, then you've been on a date. What, you just blindly met someone and had sex with them?
We exchanged funds, and then I had,
Funds?
yeah.
Funds?
Yes.
Exchanged? Oh. A hooker.
Sorry.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, now I understand. That took me a while. I'm so sorry. That
The
did.
moment of realization. Sorry, it's going to be etched in my brain.
I did not realize. Why didn't you just say that? Exchanged funds. It just sounded so polite. Did
It
it?
was a very polite transaction.
Okay, it was.
We were
Was it
very
expensive?
formal about it.
Was it worth it?
No, I've never enjoyed the experience.
Right. I mean, you got to get your money's worth. I don't know how much. How much does something like that cost
Have you
nowadays?
you haven't? Have you ever?
I've never had to pay for sex. You kidding me? I can't keep them away. I wish I could. I have to fight them off. Men, women
pay them
are
not to have
lucky.
sex.
Women are very lucky. Women can have sex anytime, right, Crystal? Okay. See, there you go.
And how old were you when you did this?
22.
22. Oh, and
Why are we talking about sex, Josh? Really? Can we talk about Tam?
we're talking about Tam's sex. We're not talking about my sex.
Odd. So, Tam, how do you come up with your material besides hiring prostitutes?
I just go about. I really don't have any sort of social life or anything, so not a lot happens to me. So
you
I
and Josh need to hang out.
that would entail having some sort of social life. I know it's
Oh.
only Josh, so it doesn't really count.
That's true.
Wow.
Okay. I
Wow.
just thought I was making a hookup here. Wow. You guys are so exciting. Your lives are just brimming with excitement.
So what have you been watching on Netflix lately?
Well, I have HBO now until it expires because I canceled it after Game of Thrones. So I don't have Netflix, but I've been watching Deadwood.
Okay.
It's an awesome show. I just discovered it. Have you heard of this Deadwood? It's only 12 years old.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you live alone or do you live with people?
I'm by myself.
By yourself. And what do you have a job? What do you do?
I don't have a full time. I used to work in advertising. I quit that after saving enough money so I could pursue comedy full time.
cool.
Wow. So you saved up and now you're on your comedy path?
Right.
Wow.
I earn a little extra spending money so by being an extra. It certainly doesn't pay the bills, but
Right.
Aha. Very exciting, though. What movies have you been on recently?
There's something called The Circle that's Tom Hanks and Emma Watson are going to be in. That's not out now, but I'm pretty excited for when it comes out. Tom Hanks is just as awesome as everybody says he is.
Are you
He's kind of
really like
amazing.
way in the background, or did you get some prominent stage time?
For that one, I'm pretty far
Movie
in the
time.
background, but there were times where like they kept me sort of close to the where the cast was, so I just sort of was close enough to him to just see him holding court. He's
Right,
just an
right.
awesome guy.
Were you ever an extra, Josh?
I did it twice and said I cannot stand this and
Excuse
never
me.
did it again.
Featured performer is what they call it, right? I was
Had,
in Naked Gun 33 and a third. Did you know that?
vaguely. What scene were you in?
The red carpet paparazzi thing.
Oh yeah. Who
So I
were
was
you?
I was a journalist.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I was a paparazzi,
Gotcha.
and
That was with what's Anna Nicole Smith, right?
yes, and
And of course Leslie Nielsen.
Leslie
and-
Nielsen, of course,
yeah.
and it was shot at the Shrine in downtown.
That because he was going to blow up the Oscars. Or
Yes,
something. Yeah.
yes.
Yep.
And I did a lot of extra work too when I first came to LA. It's pretty great because you get to meet a lot of producers, a lot of talent, a lot of casting people. At least if you have a social life, Tam, you need to
Right.
work this.
Yeah, mostly I eat
Eat-
and hide from people.
Eat and hide. Very
and hide from
exciting.
people.
Eat and hide.
God.
Okay.
Pretty much, we have the same social calendar.
Yeah.
Basically.
All right.
Um,
Well,
Although I think I apologize more to people. That's usually my interactions.
Yeah, I don't care about people's feelings very much, so.
Good for you. I admire that.
what are your goals in comedy, Tam? What are you looking to do?
I'm not real ambitious as long as I
Clearly.
can make yeah. Yeah, if I can pay my rent, that'd be a dream come true, but other than that, just
Pay
doing
your rent
stand-up.
doing comedy.
Stand up, yeah.
I see. And so where around town have you been performing?
I've just been doing open mics mostly here, various clubs and theaters. The improv
Did you start
comedy
here
store.
at Flappers doing the open mics, or were you
This was my second performance was at
wow.
Flappers.
What
and
was your
you're
first?
hooked?
Improv.
Okay.
Yeah. And now he's here.
That's right.
He's here all the time.
Yeah.
Doing
He's not doing the improv podcast.
No, he's not. He's doing the FlappCast today.
Right. Unless you're going to the improv.
When
podcast
is
after
is that where our listeners can see you next? They have to go to an open mic?
No, my calendar is completely clear. Yeah, they'd have to go to an open mic to see
Okay.
me.
So come down to the open mics at 11 o'clock.
Well, you're co-hosting the Thursday mic, right?
Right.
Or
yeah.
Wednesday.
Thursday.
Thursday. Yes, he
Well,
co-hosts.
Perfect. Thanks for giving more information. Like I was just trying to pull out of you two. All right.
Wow, okay. why are you
Thursday
grouping
nights
me in?
at 11 o'clock, Tam hosts our open mic.
Correct. Yes.
Well,
10:30.
that's very
The
helpful.
sign up is at 10.
I did
and the
not
mic
even
starts.
know that.
Well,
So I'm very excited. We did not do our research, Barbara Holiday, did we?
That was the royal we.
Yes, yes.
as Josh
As I
knew.
stare at Josh trying to give me the information. So Tam, what do you think of our open mics? Like, do we get a lot of new, exciting people, or is it just like average Joes coming down just trying stuff out?
I highly recommend Flappers open mics. You get a great mix of like pros and amateurs coming through here. Some people that really just are borderline homeless and dangerous, but a lot of people.
Gosh, was that the guy who brought? Really, that happens in Burbank?
yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes, it does.
Homeless and dangerous.
Well, there was the one
Not
night where a
necessarily-
guy came in dressed as Death.
Really?
Yes.
Is that true? Did you see him, Tam?
I
Not
don't. I
that
wasn't
guy?
here for this,
You went
unfortunately.
for the Death
Oh.
night. There was the guy, the guy who came dressed
I
as
told
Death.
Dave not to come down in his pajamas, but
It wasn't
really.
Dave.
And what was
It
he
wasn't-
trying to spread death all over? or-
I don't know. And I think he was also on stilts, which was weird.
Open mics are ripe for this kind of creativity. I
Yes.
see.
Usually, Death just sticks to the comedy store, so it's interesting that
Really?
he showed up here.
Agreed. I did not say that.
No, neither did I.
I was going to say the Ha Ha Cafe, but
Oh.
no.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
Them's fighting words.
Comedy. It's jokes, right?
In a way. Yes, it's comedy.
So Tam, I mean, do you want to do comedy on television or in films or just stand up in clubs?
I-
You got to have a little. I'm just gonna give you a little clue that you got to have a little bit of something, spur. You know, you got to have spark. You got to have desire.
I'm
to
trying
move
to
beyond the open mics, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to funnel all of my ambition into my writing, just trying to get that right first.
Well, that's good.
I'm very easy to please, so as long as a paycheck clears, it doesn't matter to me.
Right. Yeah, but open mics don't pay. I mean,
Right. Well, I'm hoping that from the open mics, I can eventually build from that to doing paid gigs or acting or whatever.
right. Well, there's definitely a lot of room for Asian Americans in comedy, for sure. I mean, it's underrepresented voice, I think, actually. Don't
yes.
you?
Yeah. I mean,
I'd
when
love
they
to hear
were
more.
when they were doing the Bernie Sanders fundraiser.
Yes, we had a Bernie
they wanted
Sanders.
Asian American comedians, didn't they? Or
That's
they
right.
Because they wanted to appeal. They were trying to appeal to
Bernie's no Asian American voters apparently vote for Bernie Sanders.
because Asians are really good at math. Ho!
Politics, folks.
Who's paying for the college?
Yeah.
But that's a different.
Let's talk about the election. No, let's not. Okay, that's the 99% Funnies podcast.
Correct. Right.
Which you'll also be hearing out of Flappers.
Yes.
Well, do you have any suggestions or questions from Tam? I think he needs to get out of the open mic scene. Actually, get into some writing groups and stuff. That's what I would recommend
Yes.
for Tam.
Which would involve socialization.
Yes, and stimulation, if that's a word. Is that a word?
Stimulation. I think that's what you're
Stimulation.
looking for. Right.
Stimulation. I made up a word.
I kind of like stimulation though.
Right, right. And you might even end up getting laid that way, just so you know. Just a little tip there.
You won't. But
I gave the same advice to Josh. Didn't work.
no, you won't. But you'll write great jokes about not getting laid.
So
And that's what's important.
if you guys want to hear more from Tam, come down on Thursdays at 11 o'clock and get into the open mic, right?
Yes.
And any
10. Sign up is at 10.
Sign up's
and the
at
mic
10.
starts at 10:30. And we close off the bucket at 10:30. You have to go
Okay.
on a late sign up list.
All
So
right.
none of that 10:35 bullshit.
Okay.
You get there 10:30.
Tam, where can our listeners find you on social media and stuff?
They can follow me on Twitter at Tam Pham Comedy. That's
He has a Twitter.
yeah, that's Tam Pham Comedy, not to be confused with
P-
Dat Fan.
Oh,
Which
and is
is,
it PHAN?
M.
M.
Only
oh my
M's
gosh.
in
M
my
like
name.
in mommy
Yep.
or manipulator or mother. Maniac.
You're creeping me out.
Magician.
Everything you're saying, for some reason, with the way that you're
It
looking
is.
at me, is creeping me out with that.
Yes, it's a creepy
M
day.
is in murderer, Josh. Murderer.
M has is the beginning of a lot of great words.
True.
Magnificent.
Like mac and cheese.
Maleficent. Mondays.
Magnanimous.
Right. We could go on and on.
Majestic.
Well, let's get Tam the heck out of here.
Mar Vista.
We started a little late today, so all right. Our mojo is weird today. It's
Yes.
so weird. It's like the weirdest podcasting we've ever had.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tam
thank you
Pham.
so
Thank you so much for being on
joining us today
the FlappCast
and
today.
giving us your unique
What do you mean weird? What's weird about it?
Vietnamese Japanese
Crystal,
style.
has this been weird?
It's super weird today, isn't it? It's very it's incohesive. It's unlistenable.
I think it's par
If
for the
that's
course.
a word. If
Or-
that's a word.
Or should I say flap for the
Look,
course?
Tam doesn't even want to hear the end of this. He's leaving. Another door opening.
You can go.
and
It's
closing.
fine.
Yes.
You can be loud. It's
Oh, I see. He's very popular. Podcasts are very popular.
yes
Okay,
indeed.
well,
Oh, and we're losing
now
Crystal. All right.
everyone has left the room.
Yes.
It's just you and me. And,
and Jeremy, the sound guy.
Jeremy, who is our new sound guy.
Yes.
And so if this sounds bad, it's Jeremy's fault.
Wow.
Just so we're clear. And he's going to chime in every now and then, hopefully. We're
Yes.
trying to get him to engage with us, but he doesn't have a microphone in his hand right now.
Right. So that's going
But
to make it
next
complicated.
week, you guys, tune
He
in
will.
again because Jeremy is going to say some very profound things.
Yes.
I don't know what they're going to be
At least
yet.
3.
Yeah, we require him to say 3 profound things. And he's going to give us some sound effects and fun stuff like that, right?
Precisely.
If we pay him.
Now that's comedy.
Okay, we'll get to that. Well, this was a very interesting day. I'm really sad Jen Kober didn't make it because I do adore her. She's such a great headliner. But what can you do we've got to. It's
You
hard.
can come see her this weekend. That's what
You
can
can
do.
come see her this weekend at 8 and 10 o'clock.
8 and 10 o'clock this Friday and Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. 15th and 16th of July.
That's right. Tickets are $20.
$20. And then in Claremont, we have Avion Crockett.
Don't you say Afion Crockett?
Oh, I think you're right. It is
I
Afion.
have to say his name right. It's Afion.
Avion
Crockett.
is a bird.
It's
Sorry.
2 words. Afion and Crockett.
Well, I
Think
knew it was 2
Davy,
words.
But Crockett. But Afion.
Avion.
Crockett.
Avion Crockett.
It just sounds like a foreign language when you blend it all together. Like Afion.
I was trying
Afion.
Avion Crockett. And the Friday.
He was here in Burbank a couple weeks ago and killed it on a Monday night.
And the Friday 8 p.m. show is already sold out.
Oh, darn.
Yes.
So if you were going to go to that one, you can't.
You're screwed.
Yep.
Well, you're not screwed. Go to you can go to the 10 p.m. or you can go to the Friday 7 p.m. and 9:30
But buy
p.m.
tickets on flapperscomedy.com. Buy them in advance. I have to say, we're going into our 6th year at Flappers, and we do sell out on the weekends quite often.
Yes.
So if you definitely are planning on coming to a show,
Yeah, we were
should-
sold out. We sold out last weekend with Drew Lynch doing
Drew
his taping.
Lynch shot his hour
Very
special
successful,
here.
yes.
Yeah. So if you know you're coming to a show, definitely go online and buy tickets. You can, and if for some reason you can't make it, you can always let someone else pick up your tickets.
Precisely.
Or you
And
could donate them to the homeless people. I don't know. You could donate them to your crazy friends. You could get your in-laws to take over the tickets for you. There's lots of things you can do with
I'm
tickets.
concerned about the line of thought on there. Give it to a murderer. That's fine. No, don't do that.
Back
give
to
it
the
to good people.
M's. Okay.
Give it to good people. And then, of course, our Burbank Comedy Festival is quickly approaching.
Yes, very
It's
fast.
August 14th through the 20th, featuring live podcast tapings with Your Mom's House, Tom Segura and Christine Pajitsky. And then, of course, Jimmy Pardo doing a live podcast taping as well. Jimmy Dore.
Wait, they all have names. Jimmy
Jimmy-
Pardo's is called A Very Funny Podcast.
That's the name of the podcast.
It's not?
Nope, it's not.
What is it?
Well, it's called Never Not Funny.
Never Not Funny. Thank you, Josh.
You're welcome.
Slow down. There, you got it. And what about the Jimmy Dore?
The Jimmy Dore Show.
Show.
Yes, with Jimmy Dore.
That's the political one.
Yes, and then, yes, that's very political.
Yes,
so
and he
that's-
is on fire talking about Trump.
Yes.
So you've got to listen to that.
And then Christopher Titus, who his is called the Verbal Circus. I
A
believe.
verbal circus.
A Verbal
I think.
Circus.
A verbal circus.
Or it's the Christopher Titus podcast.
It's a verbal circus, I believe.
Well, they're all a verbal
Well,
circus.
we are putting these shows on, so maybe we'll be a little more effective in our description of them next week.
Yes, we will.
Yeah. Notice how I say that? Jeremy. No.
And then also Tom Green will be appearing
Yes.
live that Tuesday.
So many stars this
16th,
year. How
yes.
did we do it?
How
How did we get these many stars?
tenacity and hard work.
Yeah, and cool parties too this year.
Yes.
I'm proud to say lots of fun after parties, which everyone is invited to if you're listening. We have salsa parties, pool parties, not like swimming pool, but
No.
pool like billiards.
Although
pool.
that's not a bad idea. Actually,
I know,
now that you mention
bikini girls. Last year we had Red Bull girls come. Remember?
I-
hot sexy girls in Red Bull costumes giving out Red Bull.
it. I totally missed that, but that doesn't surprise me that I missed that.
Yes, you did miss that.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure we're missing tons and tons of great names. If you go to burbankcomedyfestival.com, click on comedians, you can see a whole list of the 300 comedians that are showcasing in the festival this year. It's quite a large list and every show is great. And we run the shows a lot like showcases. So you can come to one show and see, 10 to 15 different comedians in one show, all doing 5 minutes. So all week long. And there's shows like, how many shows a night? Let's see.
You got two in the bar.
Two in the bar, 3 in the Yoo-Hoo, 3 in the main room. 6. So that's 6, 7, 8
Eight.
shows.
8
a
shows.
night. I don't even think we thought about it like that before.
No, we didn't.
My
My God.
eyes are crossing right now.
It's a lot of shows.
8 shows a night. So you just start in the bar and then move to the Yoo-Hoo and then move to the main room. Then you just make this big circle around Flappers. So
Right.
August 14th through 20th, go check out all the shows and videos of all the comedians at that website.
And get a room. Stay at one of our hotels located just around the corner, walking distance. Go to burbankcomedyfestival.com
Yeah.
for a special VIP pass with a special rate that you can only get by going to burbankcomedyfestival.com, as well as our best hotel rates.
That's perfect, because then you can be hanging out at an after party with Josh all night, and then you want to go walk to your hotel and then come back and start the classes.
right.
Have
And you walk back
classes and
not with
panels.
Josh. You go
Not
back to your
with
hotel
Josh.
because that's
I've got to get this guy laid, or it's all we're ever going to talk about in this podcast. It's my mission, Josh. I'm working on it. It's my personal mission. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we have come to our close of our crazy plethora of topics podcast today.
yes.
I don't even know what we're going to call this episode.
Are you there, Crystal? It's me, Margaret.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to another exciting episode of the FlappCast. I'm Barbara Holliday.
I'm Joshua Snyder.
Good night.
Good night.